morning, wonderful people. I'm hoping you are all well. It's been a busy few weeks. Yeah, just absolutely manic. Obviously the last few weeks of Beth, my daughter, being off school, so I spent some time with her, having some fun, having some mummy-daughter time, going out. We've been everywhere. This time last weekend, I was up at New Forest Kai. Me, Gaz and Dads were invited up there for the weekend from Rick. It just happened to fall on the same weekend as YouTuber Fest, so I met some of you out there, some of you again, we've seen each other before, and some of you for the first time. So hi to everyone that I saw up there. It was great. I had a really good time. So yeah, we arrived on the Friday, settled in, YouTuber Fest on Saturday, and Sunday we done some grading and messed about with some fish, which was cool. And yeah, and then came home. So early start on Friday, very late back. I was absolutely knackered. And then a couple of other things have happened during the week, so I've been absolutely manic. I've been tired, so but all is good. Horses over in the background there because I'm doing my morning check, making sure that everything is up, standing, and where it should be. So yeah, so I got some fish from New Forest Koi as well, which turned up yesterday. I got mine posted because there wasn't much room in the car. We could have fitted them in. I know we could have fitted them in, but the car was absolutely rammed. It would have meant boxes on top of boxes, which, probably not the safest thing in the world. So I opted to have mine posted to me, which I received yesterday. So I will pop a little bit of footage in of those. Got 3 really nice fish from Rick. So yeah, I'll pop some footage in of those. It's where I literally just took them out of the bag and popped them into the bowl. Quick bit of footage, quick measure up, and then yeah, put them where they should be. So in which case, where things should be, things have got a little bit out of hand back here. I'm not going to lie to you. I need to sort through the polytunnel, so I'm going to have to start moving some fish about again to make room for other things that are coming. I am rammed. I'm literally rammed, and I need to make room. What was that? Something just moved to the edge next to me. Woo! Yeah, so I need to make some room for things. I have some other fish arriving as well, so which obviously needs their own pool. So I need to free up a pool somehow. It's okay. I have plans. It's fine. I think I know how I'm going to do this. So that's going to be next week's task. Is sorting out the polytunnel and getting all that organised and where it should be. I have Tamasaba fry, thanks to Daz from Daz's Koi Farm. I have Tamasaba fry coming out of my ear holes. I have, how many batches is in there now? There was the original 2, and then since then there's been another 3 arrive. So there's 4 different lots of Tamasaba fry in the polytunnel, and 1 lot in the fish room in one of my big cichlid tanks, which isn't that big really. It's only 3 foot. So that's going to need to be sorted out. But it's fine. I'm used to raising fish in tanks, so I'm comfortable with that. It's not a problem. It just means lots of water changes, lots of maintenance, and we're good. Winter prep wise, I am completely behind. Lots of this stuff should have been done at least a month ago, if not before that, because obviously I've just been so busy. But I've had a whale of a time. You see the horses? There's Taboo. That's Taboo, the coloured, and that's Anubis. So they need sorting out. Decisions have to be made on what's occurring. But I'm waiting for an answer, and that's going to denote what's happening with those this winter. So anyway, I will get on with it. So yeah, they need sorting out. I need to sort stables back out, ready for the horses coming back in. Other livestock moving about, like the pigs, for instance, they need their winter housing sorting back out. It's stupid little things like going around checking the gut room before all the leaves start to fall off the trees. That needs doing. Yeah, groundwork, posting needs redoing. hedge trimming still needs to happen, trees down still needs to happen, logging still needs to happen. All the wood's cut, it's all been sitting there, but it needs logging to size to fit into my log burner. So all that needs to happen. That needs to be put into place. Yeah, just all of the things I'm going to have to seriously catch up. So obviously over the last few weeks where I have been so busy with my daughter and going to events and things like that, not a lot of filming has been happening. Even though lots has been happening, the camera hasn't been turned on for it because I've been doing little bits when I can fit them in and then shutting down. So I apologise for my absence. But what I have recorded over the last few weeks is some Tamasaba fry updates. So it's just looking at me grading through a little bit. So it's literally the grading's just been looking for defaults, things like that, because for me, Tamasabas are new. So I'm learning on what's developing first. So what's coming first. So the main look of the Tamasaba is obviously that nice high back, that big podgy belly that they have, and that makes them so cute. So it's seeing what develops first. Is it the back that develops first? Is it the body that develops first? Do they develop that at the same time? How are they developing? Or what stage are they getting at? Or what stage are they getting their colours? How are their colours breaking through? All of that kind of shizzle. So it's all a learning curve for me. So I've grabbed a little bit of footage every now and then when I've pulled them out tanks, when I've done deep cleans on the tanks. That was the old girl saying good morning to you all. That was Kylie. Let me see Kylie. There's Kylie. Bless her. She's an old lady now. She was my mum's pony. She's an old lady now. And then there's little Blue out there, which is my daughter's Shetland. So yeah, so they need sorting, all of the things. All of the things. I've got to take hay down today to the fields. That needs to be moved. Yeah, so let's look at the new fish that I got from Rick at New Forest Koi that turned up yesterday. And then we will shoot to the Tamasaba fry and show you what's happening there. Okay, so I've just emptied and cleaned out one of the Tamasaba tanks for the fry. You can see I've drained all the water down, scrubbed it out. All is good. That is refilling. Right, with getting, you know, they're decent size now. I'll show you them in a second. But to get the water out, I've been using a smaller pump with a net bag over it, so then obviously the fry don't get sucked up into it. And then to get out the last drags of water out of the tank, the hoover came out. So everything is now a mess. My sponge filters are sitting in a bucket of water while this is refilling. They will get cleaned out momentarily. What we are going to do though, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to look through and grade through this batch, which is the eldest batch of the Tamasaba fry. And I'm not seeing at the moment anything that stand out on deformities. There is one in here that would be classed as a cull, which at the moment I can't find, but I will find it and I will show you a bit later if I can find it, because it's completely disappeared. I might actually be lying to you and I might have just imagined things, I don't know. But so I'm going to start. You can see just through this on the again, like all fry, there's a variation of size. So we've got some smaller ones, we've got some bigger ones, we've got some that are developing quicker, and some that are a little bit behind, some that are now starting to get colour or colour breaking through, some that are still just that browny grey colour. So, but let me sort through some of these, get some of them into the glass viewing tank, and I will let you have a little look. Okay, so there we go. Here is some of the Tamasaba fry I've pulled out. Sorry, I had to move. So there we can see all the different sizes that they've formed into. So obviously we've got some, or developed into, sorry, we've got some that are obviously bigger than others. We've got some that have started to develop the high back and the big belly, and then some that are breaking out into colour, so where the patterns are starting to break through. Let's give you an above look as well. And there we are, and so far no fin deformities or anything like that whatsoever. So all looking good. Happy with that. So there's one lot. The tank's now full, so I'm going to start popping them back in. And then we'll start on the next tank and see how the younger lot are getting on. Okay, so here's the smaller batch of Tamasaba fries. You can tell they're quite tiny, but definitely grown some since the last time they were out of a tank. So let's get these out and put them in the viewing tank and see what these look like. So there they are. So like I said, with this lot, I'm just literally looking for any serious deformities. So anything that might have bent spines, bent tails, wonky heads, anything that hasn't quite come out right on this batch. But again, majority of them are coming through perfectly fine and true, so happy with that as well. Let's go for an above look. Again, everyone looks fine. Some darker than others in this batch, but everything looks perfectly fine. So let's start working through these and pop them back in their tank as well after it's been cleaned out. Okay, so this is the eldest lot out of the group 1 week later. There's a lot more colour popping through now than there was. Some of them are really developing. The deep bellies and the high backs are starting to come through. Like that one just there coming into shot. Where did you go? There it is. So again, we've still got the size difference, which there will be. I'm not concerned about that. But yeah, we've got some interesting little bleeders coming through. That one's quite cool. It's like a bumblebee with a stripe down it. Okay, so now you've seen all that lot of previous Tamasaba updates from, I believe this would technically be the third week. So this is, you've had 1 week, second week, and now this would be week 3. So this is them first thing in the morning, obviously, as you can tell, which is what happens in this polytunnel. As the water cools and then reheats, you get condensation on the tank. So let me be a typical tank keeper and clean that, because it's doing my head in. There we go. Okay, so there they are. Obviously the water is green. I don't worry about green water. I like green water. I think it's quite healthy for them. So there we are. We can see that obviously they've got much bigger. We've started to get, especially this, where's my finger? There it is. Especially that little dude there. He's got quite a chubby body on him, same as him there. There's a few others in there that have started quite nicely to get that round Tamasaba shape. You can see that the colours are broke through a lot more, so we can tell now which ones are going to be Kahaku, which ones are going to be the plain, so the whites, which ones are possibly going to stay more of a natural colour, maybe going into a bronze. So we've got all the difference in there. The tails are starting to come out now, so majority of these I do believe are going to be long fin rather than the short. But again, we will see, because obviously it could be a trait with the Tamasabas that the tail develops before the bodies actually fill out. There is a type of goldfish that happens with, so depending on their lineage would depend on whether or not obviously the tails are developing first or not. But as I said earlier, it's a learning curve for me. I've never had them, I've never bred them before. Obviously I didn't breed any of these are all down to Daz. I haven't had chance to breed any of mine because obviously I have so many fry back here already. Mine, I haven't even bothered putting mine through. So let's take a quick look at the slightly younger lot. I'm not going to say the youngest, because it's not the youngest in this polytunnel anymore. So same thing, we're just going to clean the tank off and scare the living bejesus out of them all. Okay, so there's the slightly younger lot which are in there. Again, the colours are coming through. See if I can get you a bit closer so you can see more. So the colours on this batch have actually broke through quicker than the first lot, which is interesting. Got a variation of different sizes in there. We've got some real big ones. You can barely see because I don't know what's happening with the camera. It's the way the light's playing on it. So you've got some real big ones, and then we've got some slightly smaller ones. These I am going to have to shift out of this tank now because there is too many of them. So I'm going to put those into my blue vats on the other side to give them some more water volume. Downside to that is they won't get quite as warm in there because obviously these are glass tanks. The water gets very warm in the glass tanks inside a polytunnel. So by putting them into the blue vats, I'm lessening the sunlight that's getting to them, which is obviously lessening the heat and obviously the water volume. It being more water, it will stay slightly cooler because obviously it's a bigger body of water. So, but still, they will still be a lot warmer than what they would be if they were outside. Sorry, I'm getting messages coming through. It distracted me for a second. Squirrel moment. So yeah, I'm going to have to shift all those around. What also is in here, which is behind us, so camera shift again, I apologise, is in here, which is a very green tank. An extremely green tank. This is pea green. This is lovely. In here are some more fry. I don't know whether you can see the little dude there. There is more fry. There is more Tamasaba fry have appeared. So yeah, so there's that lot, even younger, pea green water. Again, just running on 1 air stone and 2 very large sponge filters. So they had a water change yesterday, would you believe it? Yeah, so eating me out of house and home at the moment. The older ones I am now feeding, so these ones and the ones over there, these are all being fed now on high protein granules, frozen Daphnia, and they've just started on frozen bloodworm. So that's their diet. The younger ones over here are being fed on fry powder and live brine shrimp and frozen cyclops. We also have, let me take you, I've got right itchy nose today. Not, you need you to know that. See, look, rubbish. Look at the state of my polytunnel. Okay, in here is another lot of Tamasaba fry. These are tiny. Like, literally hatched this week. I don't even know if we can see any. There's one down there, which you're not going to be able to see on camera because they are so itty bitty little eyelash baby fry. They are being fed on just literally the high protein fry powder that I've got. So yeah, it's a mess, people. It needs sorting out. Yeah, so absolute mess in it. All needs sorting out, all needs going over. I've got another batch of Tamasaba fry in the fish room, which I will show you. They are tiny as well, even though they're obviously bigger because they've been indoors, and I am keeping them on heat at 27 degrees. Same feed though, so they're getting fed live baby brine shrimp, frozen cyclops and protein powder. Slightly different protein powder for them. They're being fed rapashi because they're posh. They're not. It's just what I decided to feed them. I thought, right, well, let's mix up the fry food. So they're on rapashi spawn and grow. I'm not making it into the jelly on them. I'm literally just throwing it in as powder because it's that's a very, very fine dust to start with when you get the pots of it, and then you mix it with water, let it set, put it in the fridge, blah blah blah, and it comes out like, you can cut it up or put it into little ice cube trays, things like that. But I'm not. It actually works very, very well with just a fry powder on its own. I've raised lots of tropical fish on it, so I'm giving it a go with the Tamasabas. Same principle, why not? So yeah, I will show you those right now. Yeah, there you go. So, on a side note, Bethany's axolotl pond is doing very well. The water is very clear. Let me just show you. So yeah, so the water's very clear. Obviously, she has her shabunkings in there, which me and Bethany did notice the other week, is that her shabunkings have bred in her pond, which is cool. So she has little baby shabunkings. There's not many of them, you know, what do you expect? But there's a few. Some of them are quite a substantial size already. There is still a few little tiny ones in there, so there might be out of 2 batches. But there is some shabunking fry in there, which is quite cool. Which is cool, is I will try and show you, I'll try and get some footage tonight for you, is this pond at night. This pond at night is really wicked, actually, because obviously, you know, axolotls don't like bright light, so they tend to stay away during the day. I mean, obviously you can see a few. There's a few at the bottom there, look, and there's one over by the pump over there. Obviously I've just thrown food on, so there's a few bits. But at night, all the axolotls come up to the top, which is pretty wicked. And obviously, you know, the baby fish are a little bit more active as well. So I'll try and get some footage of that and show you that as well, because that's pretty cool. Me and Bethany were sitting out here the other night at stupid o'clock, just watching the axolotls, just sitting here quietly with a torch. Just watching them, which was quite cool, just for me and her just to sit out here overnight. And the owl was hooting, and it was lovely. It was lovely. Nighttime around here is amazing. If the weather's nice and it's warm, it can be a whole different experience around here at night. So yeah, I'm that's it basically. Quick little update, quick little what's been going on, which is not a lot really on the grand scheme of things, but it's just been, for me personally, it's been a hell of a couple of weeks. It's been up and down, lots of things to do, appointments to be kept, and all of the things. But yeah, I've had a whale of a time. So yeah, hopefully many more to come, and there are plans still afoot for said area. It's still there. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not concerned. If it runs over, it runs over. I'm not in a rush. What can't run over is the fact that I need to make some serious room in that polytunnel. So yeah. There's also axolotls to go through. I'm not going to be breeding those this year. Right, I lie. I've just completely lied to you. I am going to be breeding some of those this year, but they're going to be selective lines that I want. So I won't be keeping as many eggs. I won't be raising as many. I'm just going to be raising a select few for myself. Because yeah, there's already so many axolotls on the back line to go to my suppliers that I've got enough. I've got enough for them to keep them keep the free stores that I keep in stock with axolotls over the winter. I've got plenty to be going around, so that's not a problem. They'll just have to make do amend with what's left on the list to go. So, which they'll be fine with. They're always fine. So yeah, so any questions or anything, drop them in the comments below, and I will see you next time. So for now, people, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you on the next one.